Good morning, grade 11. It is now Tuesday, the 12th of May, and you're going to do databases, a new chapter 8. So you're going to listen to the video and then you're going to go to page 168, and you will then follow the instructions or watch the video. I'm going to do it now and then you're going to do it by yourself. And then we will be good. Right, so start menu, type access. What is a database? Though, okay, fine, I shouldn't jump the gun here. A database is just like a text file, just that it's very, very sophisticated and it's hard drive storage. A text file is all storage. You can store things in the text file on the hard drive, and databases are the same. You can store data in a database as well on the hard drive. Variables are used in memory, and text files and databases are stored physically on the hard drive. And we use databases a lot in industry. So now we're going to go and create our first database. You have to know how to use databases to do your PAT. So we're going to do this first, and then I will give you your PAT after we finish the database, or maybe during the lessons in databases. How to get a database. First of all, we're going to open access. We have to create an access database, so we go and we can click on our start menu and find access right at the top over there and click on it. Takes a while. Takes a while to open. And we click on blank database. You're going to create a new database, okay? And well, we're going to save our database as friendbookdb. Okay, we have to make sure we use the 2002-2003 database, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to this little, we do not click create, no, because that name is wrong and that extension is wrong as well. So we got to go and click on this little tiny window, browse, and then you're going to navigate to a place on your hard drive where you want to store it, on your H drive, obviously in your case. And I'm just going to find the place where I want to store it. I can't find it anymore. Right, so we're in the chapter 8. So I'm going to store it over here, and I'm going to call it, well, we can't just go and change the name, we must also change the type. So I'm going to go and make sure I choose Microsoft Access 2002-2003 in the save as type, and that is because the other versions do not connect to Delphi. And over here where it says name, we don't delete the .mdb, although it will automatically save it as that, but we're going to call it, let's look in our textbook, friendbookdb. Okay, friendbook. There we go, and we click OK, and I will see that's changed, and then now you can go and click on create. So that's very important steps over there. So now we'll see, we'll find table 1 over here. That's table 1. A database cannot exist without a table. You cannot remove a table from a database. Try it, but don't try it. You have to have a table, at least one table. And we're going to go to the home view and then click on design view. So we click on the table, go to the home, just go to home, view, design view. Okay, this is in datasheet view. At the moment there's only one field here, it's a default field that's given there. We're going to change that. You can go to view and design view, but it's asking for a table name. So let's see, what do they want us to call it? They said call it TBL Friends. Okay, So all the instructions are in the textbook, in the page there. TBL friends, sorry. TBL friends. Click OK. So there's TBL friends. We went into design view. Now you'll see they've given you descriptions of what's going on here. So basically I'll tell you now. Field names. Fields are columns. Another word for a field is a column. You're going to hear this over and over again. A field is actually the column, the vertical columns like you would see when you're in datasheet views. If I go back to datasheet view, can you see these are the columns? But there's only one column or field. They call that a field. If we've got a view, design view, it's been transposed. So now you see the field names are, you know, go down here, and we're going to add a field name. We're going to change field names and add some fields. So those fields are the columns. I'm going to call them fields so that you know. For each field you'll have the name, the data type, and there's a whole lot of different data types you can choose from. At the moment it's auto number. That means the processor itself is going to allocate a number, an individual number. Why? Because this is a primary key. Now this primary key means that everything in this ID field must be unique. So if you make sure that you have a primary key there, then you know that it's going to be unique. Every entry in that field must be unique. And this description is just for you to describe what that field is, and and field properties over here. So if you click on this field here, we clicked on it, okay, and then at the bottom you'll see field properties. It says here it's a long integer, so you can change that to a different size integer if you want, but we're not going to. Format, caption, indexed, yes, indexed, no duplicates. Can you see it says there no duplicates because it's a primary key there. It says it's got a little key there. Let's move on. Okay, so automatically adds that ID field to your table. It's an auto number, right, and it explains that there, what I just explained to you. So when generating auto numbers, the computer always remembers the last auto number and adds one to it. And if you delete it, if you delete the 15th record and you add a new record, the next record will be 16. So you won't get the 15th back, but it doesn't matter. The easiest way to save your database is to Control S, because you can only really save it when you close it. When you close the database program itself, access. And by the way, you can only have one database open at a time. And this is the one we've got open. Right, now we're going to add fields to our table. Once you've created your table, we're going to add fields. We're going to have a surname field, which will be short text. And we will change the field properties for that. We'll also get a first name. And we'll have a date of birth, and so on. And these are the fields that they want us to add, and we will do that. Okay, so let's go and do that. So adding fields to the table. Let's choose, we're going to add a surname. So basically, do I want to keep the ID? No, we're not going to keep ID. Well, actually, no, they are going to keep ID. Fine, we'll keep the ID field. Auto number, okay. You can always change that to ID, something else. Anyway, they want us to add a surname field, and we're going to call that short text. It automatically defaults to short text, so that's fine. We'll keep it like that. And the field size, that's amount of characters that are going to be allocated on the hard drive. So in order to save hard drive space, you change that to a smaller number, and they say let's keep it to 40, because you know 255 characters is not going to be the size of your surname. So we can change it to 40. So you just delete that and put a 40 in. Okay, now the next one we're going to add is, so you see when I click away, there's nothing here. So when I click there, you can see the field, and I click there, you can see the properties of that. And I click on the surname, you can see the properties there, and the data type. Okay, so they want us to add some more fields. first name, we're going to set that size, and then date of birth, class, profile views, and bio. So let's go and do that. First name, by the way, these fields must have one name. It's really a good idea. Short text, and we'll change that to 42. And then I'm going to add another field. I'm going to call it date of birth, and that's going to be a date time. Date of birth. Date time. And then we're going to go and add another one, call it class. So class can be limited, quite a small number, you know, because, yeah, 10A1 and so on. So I put 10 characters there, but I could have just put 4 or 5. But 10 is enough. Profile views, that's going to be an integer. So we choose a number over here. There's no integer here, you've got to choose number. Okay. And then over here you choose what kind of number you want. A long integer, short integer, decimal, there's your decimal. So we're just going to keep it as long integer for now. Then we're going to get another one called bio, which is going to be also text, bio. And I'm going to choose short text, and you know, we could have a lot of words for that, so I'm going to keep it at 255 because that could be a big description of a person's biography, or you know, their physical, what, I don't know what it is for, whatever. Well, what does bio stand for? I'm sure you understand what it stands for. Description of the person, you know, what they like, what they don't like, what they look like if they want to do that. Right, so now we want to add some more items to our, what does this color be? Because there's some more fields over there which I never saw. We didn't have to do that. So we've added only those fields, and now we're going to go to the data sheet view. In data sheet view, that's where you can actually start adding data. You can actually start typing in information into your database. So let's go to view and data sheet view. Okay, and it says you must save table first, so you say yes. And now we can start typing in names. So let's go and put in some names here. Oops, sorry. Vincent, Vincent, date of birth. Now we can use a time picker. You can see there, you can choose a date of birth. So obviously, you know, this will probably word. What if I want to go into, or you can actually type in the date yourself. 2001/05/26. So if I look at that, that is in the format of the date. Now if we went back to design view, okay, look at the date and time, we actually could put in a format, and we must always do this. Go to the format, click on the date of time, the date of birth field, go to this format and choose short date. Okay, then go to input mask, click the 3 dots, and then we are going to make sure that we are formatted. Okay, yes, save the table. We're going to use short date over there as well, and then click next, next, and finish. That's it. You do that, then you know that your date will have the right format to connect with Delphi. So we go to view, data sheet view, say yes. As you can see, that's all perfectly fine. Now I don't know, I could have this wrong here, 11E4 or 11A2, let's say, and profile views, we can put in a number 25, 250, and bio, sport, whatever you want to type in there. Okay, and then you can go and put in a new. So once you've done that, you can go and type in a new word. And I don't know if these people are, as you can see, there we've got the format, so it's easier to type the, let's say he's born on the 2nd of December, and this could be, you know, 124, and, you know, cricket, whatever. You go and write a whole lot of, I don't even know how to spell cricket, you write a whole lot of things there. Okay, so you practice putting in some data into your table, and that's how you do it. When you close the table, it's automatically saved. When you open it again, there it is. Go to View, Design View, and then you can see all your different things. And remember that we've changed a couple of things here, and we've made our short date and input mask over there, so it's much easier to enter the data. And then to click on the calendar. Right, now, I don't know how long this video is, but we'll go over here. At least 5 records to the table. Okay, 5. Appropriate field names. So they say create Microsoft Access databases. So in Activity 8.1, we have to create these databases. So you must go and actually do that. Activity 8.1. Create 2 databases, one called ContactsDB and one called ShopsDB, and see how you get on. I'm actually going to create one. I'll create some of them. Okay, this one's finished. So I'll quickly create the first one, and then you can do the other one by yourself. ContactsDB, so I'm going to go and open Access. I have to close Access, then you open Access again. And blank database, and you do the same thing. We have to go and navigate to the folder where we want to save it, and it takes a bit of time, as we can see. And I'm going to call this one, I'm going to just use the 2002-2003 format, and what do they want this one to be? Called ContactsDB. ContactsDB. Okay, and then click Create. And then they want us to add some fields: name, surname, age, phone number, email address, last date spoken. So I'm going to click on the table, go to View, Design View, and it wants us to give it a name. So TBL Info is the name of the table. TBL Info. Click OK. And I'll keep that primary key there. Name, surname. Now we mustn't use the word name, okay? Contact name. Don't use the word name. Seriously, people. It does not work. And then surname is fine, but the word name in Access, sometimes we've had problems with that. And then what else? Name, surname, age. Access can be fussy. Age is a number, obviously. We can actually call it, we can make it an integer. Just an integer, because we don't want it large. We can actually use a byte even, but I won't take that chance. So I've clicked on number, and I went here to this drop down box there and chose integer instead of long integer. It's a slightly smaller integer value. Phone number, that will be a string. Phone number, by the way, 1 word. Don't use 2 words. It causes yourself a problem. Now phone number, I suppose 35 characters. Always change your field size. That's very important. You get marks in your exams and pat if you don't. Email address. And remember, phone numbers are strings. Not so. Email address, definitely 40 characters is more than enough. Then we have last date spoken. Last date spoken. 1 word, guys. No jokes here. Date and time. And over here we choose our format for short date, and the input mask we will go and choose the short date. Next, next, finish. Very important that we do that. So there we are. That is the first database, and now you can do this one. And remember, don't use name, use something name. Okay, so your name, physical address, web address, those are all going to be strings. The type will be a string. Number of times you use them, that'll be an integer, and the last time you used it, that'll be date, time, field. All right, so you go and finish that activity, and then you'll see me on the video tomorrow.